my life is full. My life is full and I'm happy and I'm satisfied. And I'm going to tell you a story and then I'm going to turn it into a beautiful lesson. And that's going to be today's podcast episode. We're talking about creating a full and happy life that a man wants to be a part of, but also creating a full and happy life so that your happiness and your fulfillment is not being put on somebody else. Before we get into today's episode, I have to tell you who I am, what I do, and how I can serve you. My name is Natalie Hughes. I am a life mindset and manifestation coach in my business and on my platform. And in this podcast, I help professional women to co-create emotionally fulfilled and purpose-driven lives for themselves. Whether you are eyeing that position that is your destiny in the C-suite, or you are my entrepreneur girl, or you are ready to get married and have a family, this is the place for you to start planting those seeds, overcoming your past experiences so that you can create happiness right here and right now. Okay, let's get into it. So, I'm happy and I'm fulfilled. Yesterday night, I was sitting in my bed, which I just got a new bed, by the way. Okay, so I've got myself everything that I wanted for Christmas. Okay, that's like 95% true. I created a Christmas list. I've decided all of the things that I would be content getting myself for Christmas, and then the things that I chose not to prioritize for Christmas have just been moved over to the birthday list because my birthday is March 12th. So really, really, she's getting gifts from December all the way through March because there's this denim dress. There's this denim dress that wouldn't be shipped out until January 28th. So I'm not going to pre-order it in December. I'm just going to get it in January. So anyway, I've been feeling very fulfilled. So one of the Christmas gifts that I got myself is a brand new bed. I didn't know that I was getting a bed. It just happened. One thing after another. It just came into my life with total and complete ease. I purchased a bed for myself. Really happy, really fabulous, great purchase. So I'm sitting on this bed. It's my first king size bed. So I'm having a really great time. And, I'm talking with my ancestors and we're joking in a way that we always do. I spend 24/7 talking to my ancestors all day, every day. We just have this constant back and forth. Okay. The jokes that I tell on my podcast or in my YouTube videos and things like that, that's really just the conversations that I have with my ancestors all day long. I tell a joke, I laugh, we laugh. You can't hear them, but I can. And that's all that really matters. Did I mention that I'm a psychic medium and not psychotic at the beginning of this? Okay, so the point is, I'm sitting on my bed and I'm talking to my ancestors and I'm joking with them. And then I'm thinking about my baby because we're getting to a place where, listen, I'm ending 2025 with a rock, okay? We don't have any time to play any more games. That's all that I have to say about it. I'm ending 2025 with a rock, right? So, I mean, engaged. I want my last name dropped, meaning I want to be married. I want my eggs cracked, meaning I want a child, okay? 27 years of age, I will be pregnant, and that's in a couple years, right? So, I am smiling, thinking about being pregnant. Sorry, focus, divas. We must stay focused. So I'm sitting on my bed, I'm talking with my ancestors and I'm laughing with them as we do. And then I'm thinking about, oh my God, there's going to be a baby here soon. And there's going to be a sensitive psychic baby here. And me and my ancestors kind of have a closed line of communication, right? It's really an A and B conversation and everybody else sees their way out of it because they're not really included because I'm the only person with my ancestors. It's actually very Interesting. I have to get out of here and run errands because I have more Christmas gifts that I have to go pick up from the store. So we cannot be here for all of the 2.5s. But I haven't talking to y'all. I haven't spoken to y'all in like 2 weeks. And I'm sorry about that. But I've been chilling and I've been resting, and it's Christmas time and we just kind of winding down over here, even though I do have some great things planned. We don't have time to discuss this. Divas, we must stay focused. I was literally just telling you that I don't have time to go on all the rampages. All right, divas, we're focusing. We're focusing. So I'm the only person in my family who has my ancestors. My parents kind of did a Brady Bunch thing. My father had 2 daughters, my mother had 2 sons, and then they came together and had me. I do have the superior DNA of every single sibling that I have. I don't give a fuck. Argue with your mother about it. This is just the truth. This is just a fact. And we don't have time to get into my family's genetic history and how they so beautifully and powerfully combine. But I love who I am, and I love who we are, and I love where I come from, and I love my family's history on both sides, right? So I'm the only person who can call on my ancestors and like really like I'm the only person that really gets both of these energies. You know what I'm saying? Like when I'm pissed off at one side of the family, I can really talk to the other side. And I'm not talking about my ancestors. I'm talking about like my brothers who I don't speak to, right? Or my sisters who I also don't speak to. Like I always have somebody who 110% gets to be on my side because they're not like, oh, but that's my great great granddaughter too. You know what I mean? Anyway, that's not the point. Focus, divas. We must stay focused. So I kind of have been an only child in that ancestral regard, right? So usually it's just me and my ancestors, and it's just like an us thing. But then I was like, oh my God, you guys, like we're going to have a baby soon. And that baby is going to be included. And I was just like, kind of like tapping into this like vision, this like visual of me talking to my ancestors in the way that I always do. But then there's a baby there. And I'm just like, oh my God, you see them too. You hear them too. Like, and I have to laugh because it's so much joy in my body right now, right? And so I'm thinking about that and how amazing of an experience that's going to be. And it's just one of those experiences that just like expands your heart in a way that you have to feel it to know it, right? So my heart is like expanding at this idea and at this thought. And I have been realizing and understanding something really important here, which is that I like my life. I like my life. I've been thinking about husbands. I've been thinking about men. I'm on twin flame number 7. If you don't know, we don't have time to talk about it because divas, we are staying focused. I am on my 7th twin flame. And if this one does not marry me, I will be on the 8th. But what's the point? What's the point? The point is, I'm really funny. That's not the point. The point is, I've been thinking about him, and I've been thinking about how our lives will come together, and not just his life specifically, but just how do I fit a man into my life? And I've been really focusing, like this understanding has been coming up within me of like, I don't need one of those relationships where we're up each other's butt all the time. I talk about, and I probably have said this on the podcast before, when it comes to men, I need a man who's going to get up and leave my house every morning. He wakes up and he leaves my house. He goes to work. I need a man who gets up and goes to work. He can be an entrepreneur. You can have all of the businesses in the world as long as you don't have a home office. I need you to get up and I need you to get the hell out of my house because I want to work from home. This is my house. And that's that's sacred to me, that alone time, that being able to be by myself, pouring into my work and not having another human being that is there all of the fucking time. I don't want it. It is my nightmare. It is my greatest fear in the world. If another COVID lockdown situation ever happened, baby, I have to be wealthy because you just need a completely different apartment. I'm sorry. Love you to pieces. Love of my life partner, twin flame. Numbers 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, or 12. But in a much more real sense, I need you to get the fuck ASAP because I like my space, because I like me. And if I got into a relationship and I got into a connection and it was just us all of the time, I would miss me. I know that y'all want to be my friend. And I know that I'm talking to my listeners. I'm talking to really everybody in the world. I know that you want to be my friend and I know that you want to be around me because I want to be my friend and I want to be around me. And I can't give all of me to you because if I gave all of me to you, then what me would there be left over for me? I need some me for me. I'm stingy with my love because it is that good. Because it is that good. I need some me for me, okay? Do you ever have those times where I feel like a lot of people think that I'm extroverted because I can be so animated and I have Leo on the cusp of my 10th house. And so I really do shine in terms of my career and my online presence and all of that stuff. But in real life, I am a Scorpio rising, right? I would like to be in a dark room by myself with nothing but me and my angels and ancestors. And that's just that on that. So you know those times when you have spent all day fucking talking, you come home and you can't even say a word to yourself. You can't even think because what you just need is quiet. I don't want that in my life. I like the conversations that I have with myself and with my guides and angels and ancestors. I like me. I like her. I need her. I can't give all of her away because I need her time. So I'm thinking about that and I'm thinking about how the husband is going to fit into my life and how I don't care what he does for work. I had certain requirements, but I have become more flexible on those working requirements. But really the strong requirement is he needs to get up every morning and he needs to leave my house to go to work. Hallelujah. Amen. I love it. Mwah. We can be like the Jetsons. I need you to leave my house every morning. Thank you. You need to get on your Zoom every day at 10. And by Zoom, I mean in that car on the way to work. Thank you. Okay, focused. So I like me. And I like being around me and I like hanging out with me and I like laughing with me and joking with me and playing with me and connecting with my ancestors. And I think about bringing a man into that and I think about bringing a baby into that and they light me up and it excites me and it, makes me feel happy inside, makes me feel good inside. And that really is bringing us to the point of today's podcast episode, which is I live a life that I enjoy. I have hobbies. I have things that I want to do. I have things that I want to create. I'm at a place in a position in my business where I'm now able to really hire and expand my team, which is fabulous. So I'm in this great place in my business where I'm growing it, I'm expanding it, I'm growing and expanding the finances. I'm more stable, I'm more safe, I'm more secure. I am doing amazing. I am really thriving financially. I'm really thriving in my business. And that's fabulous. And I'm also in this place where the guides and the angels and the ancestors and God are now like, okay, perfect. So it's time to start writing that book, actually. You actually really have 3 books, but we'll focus on the first. And then maybe the next 2 will be written simultaneously. Like, it's time to start focusing on this. And also, what if you got back into theater? And also, when are you going to learn the drums? And also, when are you going to learn the flute? And also, that woman looks so beautiful playing the harp. What if you could play the harp? Do you want to know how to play the harp? And you also have to learn how to sew. And you also want to travel and start a new YouTube channel and blah, 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 blah. I can't give you guys everything. I can't tell you guys everything. You're just going to have to watch and see, right? I have to have some privacy, please. I feel satisfied with this business. And this business is still growing and expanding. I am now moving into this different phase of my life where there's more space and there's more room for more things. I live a full life. A man is not the thing that's going to bring happiness into my life. A baby is not the thing that's going to bring happiness into my life. And I have to give you an example of one that I'm not. I'm not talking about a specific person. I'm talking about a trope of a person, something that is pretty common, I would say. The I hate Mondays lady. You hate Mondays, but you want to have a baby? That's a choice. You hate your job, you hate going to work every single day, but you want to have a baby? That's a choice. You don't like your job, you're dishappy in your life, dishappy, unhappy, you're dissatisfied in your life, you're not living your purpose, you're not getting your gifts out there into the world, but you want to get married and you want to start a family, that's a choice. It's a choice. It's certainly a choice. It's a choice I wouldn't make, but it is a choice. It's a choice. That's the best I got. It's a choice, okay? And I'm a Capricorn moon with the Scorpio rising. So the fact that I'm able to just say it's a choice and just have that tone of voice in there and not go on a rant and not do the shaming thing, that's progress for me. It's certainly a choice. It's a choice I would not make for myself, and it's a choice I wouldn't recommend. Why wouldn't you recommend that choice? Tell us. Okay. Because if I'm the I hate Mondays lady and I wake up, oh, it's Monday. I have a kid. I have to take my kid to school. Oh, it's Monday. Mom, what's wrong? Oh, it's Monday. Mondays suck. I'm the I hate Mondays girl, and now I'm leading an I hate Mondays family. So when it's time to wake my kid up to go to school in the morning, oh, that's going to be a really fun time. Because I'm the leader of my household. We talk all the time about men being in a masculine energy and men being leaders, and also women, us, in our feminine energy. We are leaders. Your house should have two fucking leaders, should have two capable, competent adults. You are the leader of your life. And when you decide to have children, you are the leader of your family. You are living in an energy of I hate Mondays, I hate my job, I'm dissatisfied with this, I hate this, but I want to bring new life into the world. So now waking up my kids to go to school every morning, that just sucks. That sucks. Because we're a family of people who hate Mondays. We're a family of people who hate waking up. We hate going to our jobs. That's not the life that I live. That's not the experience that I want for myself. That's not the experience that I'm creating for myself. I don't hate waking up in the morning. It's 11:11 a.m. while I'm recording this. I don't hate waking up in the morning. I do not hate waking up in the morning. I love my job so much. There are times where I have to force myself to go to bed. We are done for the day. It is the weekend. You may not work. You are not allowed. You need to rest. If you keep on working, you will work yourself into a burnout. You will be out for 2 weeks. You do not want that. Take a break now. There are times when I have to step in and be the HR representative in my business, because my employee, she loves her work so much, she will overwork herself because she gets so incredibly excited. There's so much to do, so many ways to serve. She loves it. She's having a great time. She's relishing in it. And she also needs balance. I love my life so much. I wake up in the morning feeling excited to do my job. I don't hate Mondays. I don't hate my work. I don't hate my life. I do not hate my job. I love the work that I do. I live and I play by my own motherfucking rules, and I create financial safety, security, and stability doing it. I am a badass bitch. Even when it's challenging, even when there are difficulties, I don't hate my job. Even when this hasn't happened recently, I don't expect it to, but I have to go back in time to like the last year, the beginning of 2024. Even when I expect someone to sign on to work with me and they don't, so I don't know where the money for this XYZ thing is happening and I don't know how I'm going to pay this bill, I still don't hate my job. Even when there's challenges and even when there's difficulties, I still don't hate my work. And in those moments when I was hating my work, and in those moments when I was hating this and wanting to walk away, oh, I entertained that fully. There were moments, and this has to be years ago at this point because we've been doing really good. We've been doing really good. 2025 feels like a fucking victory lap, let me tell you. In those moments years ago, when I was done and I wanted everything to get shut down, I would unpublish my website. This maybe happened once a quarter. If you remember, you remember. I wasn't posting about it when I was taking down my website, but I deleted YouTube channels and, all of this stuff. I would just go on and I would unpublish my website. Because after I deleted my first YouTube channel and then started a new YouTube channel the month after, a month later, I realized, you know what? Maybe deleting shit is a little bit too permanent because sometimes you say you want to walk away, but then you come right back. So let's not do that anymore. I just unpublish it. I just, boop, hide it from the internet. You want to go away? You want to take a break? Fine. We're going to go on a hiatus. I'm going to give into this. I'm going to walk away from it completely. And then we're going to explore other options. What do you want to do? You want to become a doctor? Okay. You want to go back to school? All right, let's look at it. I got accepted into Zula. This was back in 2019, right when I had just left college. Yeah, it was like 2019. I had left college. I thought I was going to go back to college. I could have went back to college. I got accepted back into college. I still get accepted back into college. I did great in college. Every single time that I wanted to quit this business, every single time that I wanted to do something else, I immediately started taking action. What are we doing? We're going back to school? Okay, fuck it. Let's send in these applications. Let's do this. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, do you want to become a nurse? Okay, do you want to become a teacher? What is it that you want to do? What is your next step? There was no moment for me where I was going, I hate this, but I'm going to keep going. I'm having a terrible time, but I'm going to show up anyway, and I'm going to complain about it the entire fucking time. If that's where you are and that's the life that you're living and you are thinking to yourself, I want to have children, that is certainly a fucking choice. Because you are certainly leading an example of something. It's not an example of emotional fulfillment. It's not an example of happiness. It's not an example of life in your zone of genius. It's not an example of life in alignment with your inner being, but it's a life that you are living, and it is a choice that you have the free will to make. Absolutely. And it's also a choice that has very real consequences. I'm a woman who's created a life for herself where I wake up in the morning and I am excited to get shit together. I'm a woman who's created a life for herself where I wake up in the morning and I'm excited to move shit forward in my business. I'm excited to create. If something's not working for me, I pivot. We've talked about this, the power of the pivot, in other episodes of the podcast. I know when it's time to pivot. I'm willing to do things differently. I've created space in my world. I've been incredibly intentional with every single thing that I've done thus far, because I know that the plan is to be a mother. So what does that mean for my family? That means there's a culture. You're creating a culture. You're creating a work environment. We have a familial culture. If I'm the leader of my family, we have a culture of enjoying life. We have a culture of happiness. We have a culture of joy. Me and the ancestors spent all day, every motherfucking day, laughing and joking and being silly and being playful together. We have a culture in this family of happiness and joy. We have a lighthearted culture in this family. We have a culture in this family of doing work that we enjoy. We have a culture in this family of leading lives where we are satisfied. We have a culture in this family of intentionally looking for the things that we enjoy. I saw a little girl on TikTok the other day, and she was mimicking her mom, which one of the reasons why I love children and I love children's development is because of the way that their little brains work, right? And I talked, I think in the last episode that I did, about when I was given the wonderful opportunity to play with a little girl, and she was mimicking me in the tone of my voice, and I was just like, damn, am I really coming off as like an authority like that? Like, yeah, girl, you know what? Hell yeah. So I love children, and I love opportunities like that, and I love the beautiful things about us that they reflect back to us, because I like myself, so I like the reflection that children give back to me, right? But that's not the point. The point is, I saw this video on TikTok, and it's this little girl. She's typing. She's sitting in a big chair, big desk, and she's typing, and her mom's recording her. Her mom's like, what are you doing? She's like, I'm working. And then she starts shimming her shoulders. She's dancing in the chair. And her mom is like, I do not do that. I do not shimmy my shoulders and dance while I'm working. But it's the expression of the energy, not exactly what her mom is doing. It's the expression of the energy. What is her mom modeling to that little girl? Work is fun. Work is play. Work is something that you want to do because your kids want to be you. Your kids want to emulate you. Your kids want to copy you. So if mom wakes up in the morning and she hates Mondays and don't talk to her until she gets her coffee, you're going to lead a house of children who wake up and they hate the morning and don't talk to them until they get some apple juice. And they're going to perpetuate that culture of misery because you led with that. I've said this in millions of podcast episodes. It does not matter where you go. You can't run away. You can't move to a different place and create a new life because you're going to take your mindset with you. How do I heal in the same environment that wounded me? You have no option but to heal in the same environment that wounded you, because it's your internal environment that is perpetuating the story anyway. It's your mind that is perpetuating the stories of trauma and neglect and abuse and not enoughness and dissatisfaction anyway. You're not going to move to a new city and magically have a different life where only great, powerful, wonderful things happen. Give it a little while and fucked up shit will start happening there too. I know this from experience. I moved all the way to New York City, running away from my problems, and then fucked up shit started happening there too. That was traumatic. It does not matter where you go because the stories that are running through your subconscious mind, they're coming right along for the ride. It doesn't matter how many children you have. It doesn't matter how many beautiful, fabulous babies you bring into the world. It doesn't matter how many husbands you get. You are taking your mindset with you. Are you leading the kind of life that you want to welcome a man into? Are you leading the kind of life that you want to welcome a child into? If you are leading a life where you hate Mondays and you are focusing on, I am ready to have children, that is certainly a choice. And it's not the choice that I would suggest. Because you're not right with you. You got to get right with you. And I don't mean you have to, because you don't have to do a damn thing. You can do whatever you like. Miserable people been having children since, forever. Your parents were miserable and they had you, and look how you turned out. And I don't mean that in a shady way. Obviously, you're fabulous or you wouldn't be here. But are you happy? Are you satisfied? Are you content? Are you fulfilled with where you are? Do you feel empowered? Do you believe in your ability to achieve your goals? Do you know that when you set a new goal, that when you have a new desire, that it is yours? Do you allow shit to manifest and pour into your life with total and complete fucking ease? Do you want it and then you got it and that's just how life is for you? If the answer is no, then you didn't have to have the worst parents in the entire fucking world. But were they really leading by the most amazing, wonderful fucking example? Perhaps not. And that's okay. And that is not a crime. And nobody's going to beat them up and nobody has to beat you up. It's just a conversation that you have with yourself around, who do I want to be? What do I want to bring? I have to have a man who not only is successful in his career is the bare minimum. There's so many men who are successful. I don't know if people on the internet just talk to talk sometimes. But there's like this weird conversation around like, I'm a man and I make well over 6 figures and I'm a catch. Doesn't every man? I mean, I know. There are men who don't, blah, 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 blah. But seriously, like, who isn't a successful man? Who doesn't have a degree? Who didn't go to an Ivy League? I mean, like, seriously, you guys, it's not hard. It's not hard to find a successful man. It's not. And, can I talk my shit? It's not difficult. It's not difficult to find a man who has what appears to be success. There's a lot of men who are living in their zone of excellence. It's not hard and it's not difficult. And that definitely is a reflection of my assumptions about men, right? Because there are some women who might be listening to this going, what the fuck do you mean? I only attract unemployed men. You know what I mean? And that's a reflection of something that's alive within you. And you can use my programs to change that and shift that. You're welcome. But that's not the point. The point is, being a successful man is the bare fucking minimum. I realize that I want a man whose work excites me, inspires me, and intrigues me. I want a man who I want to ask questions about his work and about what he does. I want to know what is kind of like alive within him in that regard. So I don't want a man whose career I find to be boring, and I don't want a man who's just clocking in and clocking out, because again, I find that to be fucking boring. I don't want a bare minimum man. I don't want a man who has no sense of self outside of his work. I want a man who absolutely loves what he does. Zone of genius living. That is my desire. That is what I am exclusively available for. That is my standard, and it is what I have been created for, right? So if you want a man who has his own thing going on, his own zone of genius thing going on, I also want to be a woman who has her own thing going on, her own zone of genius going on. Do you want to be in a relationship with a man where when you connect with him after a long day, he's like, you're like, oh, how was work? And he's like, oh, work was the worst thing in the world. We had to do this stupid thing, and then my boss, and then I had to work so hard, and then I had to do this, and everybody in the company is just incompetent, and it just absolutely sucked. Is that what you want to be with? Is that who you want to be around? You want to wake up next to the man who's like, oh, I can't believe it's fucking Monday. The weekend was too short. I hate Mondays. That's what you want to be with for the rest of your life? And then we want to turn that around, and I'm never saying that you need to change who you are in order to be loved by a man, but genuinely and authentically, like seriously for a second, do you think that that's appealing? You think a man wants to spend the rest of his life waking up next to a woman who every single fucking week after week after week, you know that the Monday is coming up because it happens every single week. It's not a new schedule every single fucking week. You know that the Monday is coming. You know that that's not a surprise. It's not new. It's not new. And you are an adult, and you do have the ability to put systems in place that help you and support you so that you can wake up every single morning feeling happy, feeling refreshed, feeling excited, looking forward to something. You are an adult. You do make the rules. You are the leader of your life. You think a man wants to wake up every single Monday morning to, another fucking week, I guess. Whatever. Fucking hate this. Fucking hate being alive. Ugh. Fucking hate everything about everything. I don't know. I don't know what the I hate Monday girls say because I don't hang out with them and I don't talk like them and I don't think like them, okay? Is that what you want? Is that the life that you want to live? Oh, I'd fucking die. He'd fucking die. I'd say, hold on. Because I'm living forever. But unfortunately, he would die before I lived the rest of my life. Or maybe just divorce. Everything doesn't have to be so drastic, Miss Scorpio. That's not the point. The point is this. I like my life and I like who I am and I like how I am and I like the things that I do and I like the things that I create and I like the people that I work with and I like my life and I have so many things that I look forward to and I have so many things that I'm creating and I have so many things that I am enjoying. And I need a man who is also living his life in that way. And I can't imagine being a woman who's unhappy and dissatisfied with her life, approaching a man. Well, I couldn't imagine being a woman approaching a man. Anyway, but that's not my point. Hold on, 2.5. Really quick. That's crazy. Because if you knew me a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, let's not keep going. Let's just say in the past. If you knew me in the past, I could imagine being a woman going after a man, pursuing a man. Jesus. But today, I cannot. Let's move on. So, I couldn't imagine being a woman entertaining the idea and concept of being in a relationship with a man who's fulfilled in his own life and I'm not fulfilled. I can't imagine being a fucking Debbie Downer. Is that my fantasy? That's my ideal. That's the best that I can do in my own imagination. Being a Debbie Downer. Being the girl who's always dissatisfied and always unhappy and boo, this life really sucks and I really hate being here. That's not me. I'm the girl who, when I go outside, hummingbirds play with me because I am a real life Disney princess. I'm not joking. The other day I was sitting in my room on the bed. I had my shades open. A little hummingbird comes, hovers by my window. There are no flowers here. Don't talk to me about the terrible thing that they did to my flowers outside. My mother had them ripped up. Sick. We don't have time to talk about it. They've been gone for like at least a year now. My point is, the hummingbird wasn't seeking a flower. I'm the flower that the hummingbird was seeking. He comes and he zoops right by my window, hovers for a little bit. I'm like, hello. And then he zoops by. And then they use the little pool to take their little bathy wathies. That's who I am. I'm the girl who stops what she's doing and says, a hummingbird, oh my God, hi. I'm the girl who walks outside in the morning and when the birds are chirping, I do say hello to them because I'm Black and it's rude not to speak. It's rude not to speak because you hear them talking to you. And with that same energy, years ago, there were these two wonderful little boys who lived with us. And we were outside in our backyard. And we're talking about all the birds because we have a lot of birds, right? And so I was talking to the youngest one with the little birds, about the little birds and stuff. And I said, when you talk to them, they talk back. And so he shouts to the birds, hello. And then the birds start chirping back. And he's like, oh my God. And we both are having this moment of like, oh my God. Because I didn't know that the birds were going to start chirping. Like, I was just being like, cute little witchy auntie, And the birds start chirping back. And I'm just like, of course they fucking do. Yes. Because that's who I am. Because that's, well, yes. You know what? Hell yeah. I'm the girl that talks to the birds and the birds talk back. And it's not just because I'm around children and I'm so fun and I'm so playful. No, it's because that's who I am. No matter who's here, I was always going to have fun. I was always going to find joy. I was always going to find something to love about the situation. I was always going to seek out an opportunity to tell a funny little jokey joke. I was always going to have a good time. I was always going to enjoy my life. And when the baby comes into my life, they are an addition to that joy. They're not the source of that joy. That's a lot of pressure to put on a baby. You're dissatisfied in your life. You're unhappy. But everything's going to be okay when you pop out that baby. That's a lot of pressure. You're dissatisfied in your life. You're not happy in your job. You don't feel good about yourself. You don't feel good within yourself. But getting married is going to change that. Having a partner is going to change that. That's a lot of pressure to put on another human being, and it's not fair. What does Beyonce say? Money don't make me happy, and a fella can't make me fancy. We're smiling for a whole nother reason. It's all smiles through all 4 seasons. Shining, 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 shining. Yeah. All of this winning. I've been losing my mind. I'm never happy because there's a guy in my life, even though sometimes some guys, when they're 6'3" and they have the biggest ears that you've ever seen in your fucking life, and they're just built in the way that they're built, and they have those thighs. And Jesus Christ, divas, we must stay focused. We must stay focused. You know that I'm a fiend. You know that. I can find joy in men. I can find joy in the soulmate. I can relish in that because I'm a lover girl. I was always going to do that. But if we woke up tomorrow and all men were wiped from the face of the earth, I would be devastated. But I would also be able to find joy. I'd make a joke about it. I don't... like, fuck it, we ball. Shit. Because I am my source of happiness. I am my source of fulfillment. I am my source of joy. And because I'm this woman who is happy and who is satisfied and who has intentionally created a life for herself where she is feeling good and where she is fulfilled, I get to have people in my life that add to that. I get to lead a life where I don't have to spend my childhood healing and cleaning up the shit from the past and rearranging my mindset and blah, 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 blah. I get to relish in them because mommy already created a life where she's happy and she's fulfilled. Mommy already created a relationship with money where she is 110% sure that there's always more than enough money available for her. Mommy already created the generational wealth and it's still building. Mommy already created the life where there's thousands of dollars coming in through her business every single day. Mommy already created the life where the portfolio is diverse as fuck. The portfolio is DEI. Mommy already created a life where the portfolio is giving DEI. That is how fucking diverse it is. Mommy already did that. That's already done. All of that is happening in the background. Mommy is already happy. Mommy doesn't have to wake up every single morning and convince herself to be happy. Mommy doesn't have to wake up every single morning and pray to God that he can help her to be happy. Mommy is already a happy person. Mommy's already enjoying. I was always going to be this happy and bubbly because, baby, that's just how I am. I was always going to have amazing music bumping throughout my house because that's just how I am. And really, it's just very lucky that baby is like that sort of thing. I was already going to listen to the Moana soundtrack because that's just how I am. And really, we're just very lucky that children really like this kind of thing. I was already going to watch the Cheetah Girls. I was already going to watch the Cheetah Girls. And I'm just happy that you're here to enjoy this with me, you know? I was already going to relish in these things. I was already going to enjoy these things. I was already going to enjoy being alive. And now I get to share this with you. That's the point. I like who I am and I like how I am and I like where I am and I like what I've created and I like what I am creating. I like that my life is full of things that I like, full of things that I enjoy, full of personal goals that I have for myself. A man can go off and do his own thing. He can live his own life. He can have his own friends and talents and skills and hobbies and job and career and things that he is focusing on because my life is already full and our lives can come together and we can connect in certain ways and we can work together and collaborate with each other and, do really great, amazing, wonderful, fabulous things together. But my life is already full. The man is in addition to that. The baby is in addition to that. And I think a lot of women maybe subconsciously don't realize that they're showing up in their manifestation process, in their, desire process, and they're expecting these things, these people, these experiences, job titles, more money to give them something, to give them a permanent feeling of fulfillment, to give them a permanent feeling of happiness, to give them a sense of purpose, to give them a sense of being loved, to give them a sense of being wanted. I feel loved every single day. I feel loved more than I can possibly imagine. I'm sitting on my bed crying last night because of how fucking loved I am. And I don't mean loved by other people, even though I do feel loved by other people. And I love that, but I feel so fucking loved by my ancestors. We don't have time to get into it, so we won't. But I feel loved. I feel fucking loved. I feel like I've said this recently at some point, but you know that like meme on like TikTok where it's like, you think you can hurt me? I had this terrible traumatizing experience. And for me, my version of that would be like, you think you can hurt me? I am loved. I am loved greater than I could ever imagine. Everywhere that I go, I have 17,000 of my closest personal friends, my ancestors, right there alongside me. Every single place that I go. You can't hurt me. You can't reject me. You can't make me feel ostracized and like I don't belong and like I'm not wanted, because no matter what the fuck happens, no matter whose opinion is what about what, I am loved. I am cherished. I am cared for. I am shown up for. I am fought for. They will go to war over me. You can't hurt me. You can't make me feel like I'm not good enough. You can't make me question my self-worth. I am the manifestation of these people's wildest motherfucking dreams. Look at you doing all of the things I couldn't do. Like, what? I like me. And I like hanging out with me. And I like being around me. And men like to be around me. Because I am such an amazing person to be around. Because I intentionally create a life of happiness for myself. I intentionally create a life of satisfaction for myself. I intentionally create a life where the bar is raised. I intentionally create a life where if I see myself harping on bullshit, if I see myself doing some sort of negative downward thinking spiral, oh baby, we're going to cut that shit off quickly. And I mean immediately, because that's who I am and that's how I live. That makes me somebody who more often than not is experiencing happiness and joy. It's not toxic positivity. It's living intentionally. I don't run away from the negative emotions. I don't run away from the negative feelings, but I am the leader of my mind. I have a relationship with my emotions where I understand that my emotions are just communicating to me. My emotions are just communication. I listen to that communication. I take action in alignment with that. And because of that, I don't wallow in the negative emotions. I don't wallow in the negative feelings. I take the information, I move accordingly, I take care of myself, and then I intentionally get back into that good fucking feeling. I intentionally get back into that feeling of enjoyment, happiness, safety, security, appreciation, love, laughter, joy. Oh my God, I spend so much fucking time in joy. Who doesn't want to be around someone who prioritizes feeling joy without resisting her negative emotions? Because, like, emphasis on that part. Of course, I'm the woman that you want to wake up to for the rest of your life. I want to wake up to me for the rest of my life. Of course, I'm the woman that you want to be your mother. I enjoy being my own mother. I thrive under my leadership. I thrive under my own love and my own nurturing and my own care. Of course, you want to be loved and nurtured and cared for by me. That just makes sense. So before we end this episode, my questions to you are this. Who are you right now? Are you the woman who you would want to wake up to every single day for the rest of your life? Are you the woman that you would want as a mother? The way that you live, the way that you are, not the things that you say. I hate those videos of parents doing affirmations with their kids for the camera. Oh, I hate that shit. Boo, 0 stars. I hate it. I think it's so lame. Superficial bullshit. Not saying you can't have an affirmation call and response with your children in your own time, but what's going to be more powerful than affirmations and all of that shit is living it, embodying it, walking it like you talk it. And that's not what a lot of people are doing. Your child's not going to do what you say, they're going to do what you do. So I don't care what you would be willing to say to your child. I'm asking you, who are you being? If you popped out a baby right now and that baby was you, carbon fucking copy. That baby stole your face. That baby stole your way of being. Would you be happy? Would you be satisfied? Would you be proud? And if not, ask yourself why, and then you know what to change. And that's all that I've got for you. I love you so much. Check out the links in the bio. Check out the free resource library. There's over 12 mindset and manifestation resources in there. I cannot recommend that enough to you. Great place to start. If I was you, I'd be in there at least once a day. Do the journals multiple times. Do the meditations. They're very fabulous. All right. I love you. I have to get out of here. Didn't I tell you I have to go run errands and I have a call in an hour? You guys, this is sick. I'm talkative. And that is not a crime. Okay. I love you. And don't forget to rate this podcast. Rate this motherfucker 5 stars. And if you want to rate it anything less than 5 stars, you know what? You can skip it. You don't have to rate it, Pookie. Okay, I love you. Goodbye.